Do you need to know programming languages? Yes, as little as possible. That is, in any programming language, you should write in the smallest subset possible. Right? There are people who want to use the most advanced features of C++ 14. Desist. Try to write as close to C as possible. Right? Are closer to C than C. Sort of, it should be tiny, tiny language. Yes?
So there's a little bit of a conflict because you're always saying no one knows the standard library.
You need to know algorithms. That's a different thing. You don't need to know C++ standard library. You need to know about rotate, whether you implement it yourself or take it from the standard library. Again, I insist that a programmer must know algorithms and data structures, but not algorithms and data structures in Python or C++. There is no such thing. Right? You should know how algorithms work. Then you need to be able to implement them in a given language and do it well. No question about that. But right now we have it backwards. We have these people raving about all the problems will be solved if we switch to Scala. I don't believe it. Why? I heard these things for the last 40 years. There's some bunch of crazy people running around. Oh, if we switch to Algol 68, you probably never heard, but I remember that was a hot thing when I was, remember that, Paul? EPL1 before that I do not remember. He's a year older than I am, so. Well, plus in Europe, nobody took PL1 seriously. They did Algol 68, which for a while was the dominant unimplemented programming language. It was so cool, but there was no compiler. And then there was Alphard. People were coming and saying, oh, you just wait. We're still waiting. There was this guy, guys at CMU, Bill Wolf and company, who designed this ultimate programming language called Alphard. Truly beautiful, predecessor of everything. They never bothered to implement it. It's really well designed, but why do you need a compiler? So, and then there was Clue, and then there was MacLisp, ZetaLisp, Interlisp. Do I have to go? Scheme, T. I could go through all these bunch. And then there was Prolog. There was even a major, at that time, what was the major industrial power? Not the United States. The United States was dead. Everything was Japanese. Japan was taking over the world and buying Manhattan and Columbia Records and whatever. And Japanese government declared that the future of the world was Prolog. Logic Prolog. You do not remember that. You were not born. But we remember that. It was, did it solve any problems? Well, I mean, it solved some problems with people who got grants. But, no, it didn't solve any problems. And then there was Ada. Anyone remembers Ada? Solved problems for me. 2 cars. I bought 2 cars out of Ada grants. I was a poor assistant professor. It was a big deal. So, useless stuff. No, but, I mean, it disappeared. But they solved the problem with another great programming language, Ada 95. Remember Ada 95? How many of you programmed in Ada 95? Huh? The government spent $1 billion to solving programming problems. Huh? So languages come and go. And then there is D. And there will be, what is after D? E, F, whatever. There are many F. Yes. So, guys, it's not about programming languages. I have been talking about it in the course, but I want to emphasize it at the end. It's not about, because it's simple solution. And Swift, I forgot Swift. But again, this is fashionable stuff. This is Harry Potter of the programming world. So what should you do? You should stick to Knuth. Again, I recommended some other books. I recommended Dijkstra's Discipline of Programming. I recommended Wirt's books. They're still great. But there is this great book called Knuth, which we should all sort of use. You should learn to use Knuth. It's an effort. It's not an easy book to learn to use. But it's There are lots of useful stuff there. So you have to acquire this thing.